Good morning, welcome.
Morning. Hi, my name is Josh Clark, and I'm here today to speak about Second Story and its closing. And, you know, 2 years ago, I was considered what people consider mentally ill. And to be able to go to a place and really work on what issues were there and the issues that really separate me from what I would consider being a part of society. Those issues really, it kept me from living the life that I have now. And part of Second Story is having the support there to help me get back to that point that I was at. And today I'm back at that point even better, you know. Second Story was there for me at the bottom of the ladder and is still there 20 rungs up. And it'd be a shame for it to be taken away so abruptly. You know, 2 years ago I used it as a way to get back on the horse, and now I'm using it to get on a horse further, like another horse. I'm hopping off one horse, getting onto another horse, going further down the line. Now, we're searching for funding right now. Funding is really the hard part about this. Without funding, we wouldn't be able to operate the house, which is the key component to what makes Second Story work. You know, other programs have been proposed, but at the same time, they haven't been planned out as well as Second Story has been executed. And so, to be clear, Second Story really isn't Second Story without the house, and will not be Second Story if we can't find funding by come December this year.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Good morning and welcome. Thank you for waiting.
Morning. My name is Jose Reyes, and I'm here to appeal to you in regards to Second Story as well. Second Story is a respite model that has really worked for me, and I'm here to explain to you just my situation. But keep in mind that I am one of many. Okay, so I know you're kind people and you care a lot, but I'm also here to appeal to you with some numbers. Okay, this year alone, I have cost the taxpayers of Santa Cruz County and California over $100,000 in hospital stays, mental health facilities, health insurance, and also public benefits. Okay, I'm very much a recipient of the mental health system, but I'm very much a part of that model, but as a recipient. Since Second Story, and the support of my peers and the respite house, because the problem was my environment. It was triggering a lot of symptoms within myself, and my diagnosis I will keep to myself because it's personal. But since Second Story and the peer support model, I have gained employment full-time. I now am going to get health insurance, so I will not be taxing the taxpayers anymore in regards to my mental health issues. And also I am now negotiating as we speak more permanent housing. So remember, I am one of many people. This model, yes, may be expensive, but consider the alternative, okay? It may be something that a couple weeks at Second Story is going to save over $100,000, potential $100,000 next year on just one person alone. I am very expensive, but this program, this program has changed the trajectory of my life. I had a suicide attempt about 2 years ago. I no longer feel that that is necessary for me to escape my problems. And it's all because of the peer support model that we have here.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, welcome. Thank you for waiting.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Jennifer Collin. I'd like to talk about Second Story and in support of it. Second Story is an irreplaceable source of hope and support in our community. It is a sanctuary for people who need it. The peer support counselors are empathic, and they help to create positive differences in the lives of their peers. I worked at Second Story after having been inspired by my stay there. I now work as a peer support coach with Front Street Incorporated. It's a community-based mobile support system, and it's helpful to many. But there is talk of transforming Second Story into this sort of program, but I tell you, it is not the same thing. The atmosphere of Second Story, it's a crucial element in the availability of this dynamic mental health service that our county needs. I just want to support it and need to stay open.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. My name is Adrian Bernard. Hello again. I hope it's a wonderful day, and thank you for everything that you all do. I have a paperwork here that talks about, it's a response to the Q&A that a couple of people in our advocacy group have written. So I'm going to offer this to you. There's one thing that is not absolutely accurate, is confirmation about PEI money being able to be spent to fund Second Story. We're certain that it is possible, but that it's not. We say confirmed, and we'll have final confirmation within the next couple of weeks about that, and we'll be reaching out to you for that. I think that's what I want to say, and I just want to say also, to clear the record, with our involvement in building the new program is a matter of necessity. People need to work, so we are moving forward with building this program, and we don't do things halfway. As best we can, we're going to offer excitement and energy to create something. We need the house, and it's the most important element to have this sanctuary for ourselves as a team and for our community. I think that it's incredibly important to be aware of the national spotlight being on Santa Cruz right now for this current dilemma that we're facing. Peer respite houses are a growing model. There's now 34 in the state, or sorry, there's now 34 in the nation, and they're still continuing to flourish and grow. On another note, I'm going to stop about Second Story there and talk about the FAA and the flight path and things of that sort. I think it's incredibly important that we have board representation in those meetings and discussion with the FAA, so that we have strength coming from this important matter also. Change the flight lanes if we can.
Thank you. Good morning. Welcome. Thank you for waiting.
Hi, my name is Dana Watts, and I'm speaking on the behalf of Second Story. A couple of years ago, I was dealing with psychosis, and it caused me to hear voices and have hallucinations, but ever since I've been at the house, it's really been another home for me. To me, just going to someone's house that they're already living at and talking to them isn't the same, because what if they're in distress at their home environment? I feel like it's an alternative to the hospital or their home environment. Before I had this community, I was isolating. Second Story has helped me cope with my voices, showing me ways to be friends with my voices. It's not only it's like another home to me. It's not the same as someone just coming to your house or coming to a coffee shop and talking to you. It's someone that has experienced mental illness, who actually can talk to you or really understand what you're saying, and not have someone that doesn't experience that on a day-to-day basis to come talk to you. It just isn't the same. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for waiting.
Thank you. I'm here. My name is Mia Della Rosa. I'm here to speak on behalf of Second Story. Almost 2.5 years ago, I truly believed I would never again attain gainful employment. Let's see, by surrounding myself with people who believed in me, and not alone wanted me to become a better Mia. Let's see, oops, I lost my page here, sorry. I not only became a better Mia, but I am now a counselor, a peer counselor at Second Story. Sure, I put in most of the footwork, but I've surrounded myself with those people. However, you know what they say, it takes a village. I would like to make you aware that this morning, you are the most important part of that village. Folks, this couldn't be more true throughout the gambit of mental health, from the treaters and the providers to the families and the patients. So I ask you to please help us save our story. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. I'm Kathleen Alman. We have to stop and think. We have to think about what was the purpose of the second story. The purpose of the second story was to save money for the county. And because once a person gets sick, they're critical. The hospital will take them. We take them before they become critical so that we can prevent them from going to the hospital. And then if the hospital is full, they get sent to another county. And to be able to get this far and then made flat as a pancake would be ridiculous. That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for waiting.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Tracy Kennedy, and I'm here in support of Second Story. I just wanted to reiterate that it's an important program for the county, very important for the mental health system. And I also wanted to ask if anyone in the audience is unable to speak but here in support of Second Story, if you could raise your hand. So just wanted to give you guys an idea that there are people here supporting us that for whatever reason are unwilling to speak to you. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for waiting.
Good morning. Thank you. My name is John Dietz. I have 27 years of personal experience sustaining the housing of a family member with a mental diagnosis. I'm here to speak to two professional experiences and a recommendation related to Second Story Respite House. Second Story has been in operation for 7 years as the peer support facility that is unique in creating trusted family relationship between peers. That seems to be the point that's being missed. The peers that have common lived experience of major behavioral issues to problem solving as a trusted family, so they do it as a group. I'm the leader and organizer of the volunteer housing navigators that have housed over 50 homeless, 50% of which are participants in the county behavioral health program. We have 5 years of operational experience. Of those participants that have experienced Second Story, 100% have successfully stayed housed. Our program has an overall 50% retention rate, 20% below the standard, so I'm a witness to the success of Second Story. There is also a business view of Second Story. The county has raised $150 million in Second Story salaries over the past 7 years. They have a house of a respectable neighborhood financed by CHFFA that lacked years to secure. The county is invested in specialized IPS training for 16 staffers, 22 classes for 22 community organizations, and the county cannot raise $700,000 per year to sustain this operation. So closing Second Story is an uninformed business decision that will cost the county more than it saves. It's going to destroy a peer support model that keeps the homeless housed and replace it with a model that lacks a home and community. My team and I recommend that the Board of Supervisors demand $700K from the county CAO. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you all for waiting.
My name is Patrice Sylviak. I am here also in support of Second Story. I am Director of Community Services for Front Street and supervise a supported housing program. So I have seen firsthand over and over since Second Story came on board the success, the impact that it has made on the clients who are living in our housing, the supported housing program. Probably a quarter of the tenants that we house utilize that program, and they come away with nothing but positive, reinforced support systems, sense of self, empowerment. And Second Story is one of the, it's a very unique option in the spectrum of services for the community. I once was the director of the social rehab programs, which we lost. That impact has been felt, we lost those about 8 years ago. That impact has been felt, and they've never been able to be replaced. And so keeping it up and running versus trying to get something going again in the future, I think is a much better option. We all need a place of respite. This is a place that many individuals, it's the only place for people to go to. They may be living with a housemate that is having difficulty And it's very hard, it's rough living with that person. Where can a person go in a situation like that? Second story is where where people often find themselves, to get a little respite, to get a little peace, so they can sustain their own mental health stability while, you know, experiencing someone else in close quarters who is having trouble with theirs, as well as if they're having difficulty with their own. Second story is a safe place, it's empowering, it's very respected within the mental health community. It's an option that's very unique in this community, and they've done a fabulous job. We really depend on them.
Thank you. Good morning. Welcome back.
Good morning. My name is Rebecca Mills. I'm speaking about the closure of the second-story house. I've worked there for over 2 years as an on-call counselor. The announcement in late August that second story would be closing at the end of November came as a shock to guests, staff, and the community. This decision was made without any input from those people, and this is troubling and continues to be traumatizing. Second-story staff have been told they must abandon a community environment they have built that has produced results for 8 years and pioneer an entirely new and different program with completely different job responsibilities. As news of this decision has spread, there has been an outpouring of support to keep the respite house. Discarding this program and replacing it with a completely different service is risky. Residential peer respite has a proven impressive record of benefits and guest satisfaction. The new field-based program without a residential component is an experiment, a completely different service with an unknown set of potential benefits. Without the residential option, we can expect to see increased costly and ineffective psychiatric hospitalizations and other outcomes, including homelessness, substance abuse, and suicide. The bulk of the respite house budget is in personnel and salaries. Do the cost savings of preserving jobs but eliminating the house justify the loss and risk of this transition? In the mental health system, it is sustainable to hospitalize people in a traumatic environment with an enormous cost but a low chance of recovery, yet not sustainable to provide a much less costly prevention-oriented alternative that allows people to attain and regain wellness. This needs to change. I ask for your support to create the time before closing this program to truly allow every possible option to be explored, not behind closed doors as has been done, but with the participation of affected community members and important stakeholders. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for waiting.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Cindy. I'm a peer guest and community member of Second Story. I have struggled with mental health for most of my life. I'm a survivor of trauma. Many times, my times of extreme psychological crisis are life-threatening and directly related to my trauma. In January of this year, I had a serious suicide attempt that I almost did not survive. After leaving local health facilities, my life was still in danger and I had no supportive environment to help me get through this crisis. Second Story Peer Respite House was suggested to me as a place with trauma-informed care and understanding. This peer community is like a garden where other peers can show up, get their feet dirty, plant the seeds of hope and new perspectives, be watered with acceptance and not judgment from the peer team because of their lived experience in recovery, given the shining sun of peer support and reflection, and a deep-rooted connection to this irreplaceable community. As a peer, you become a seedling in this garden, and you can return home knowing that the garden is there, growing, surviving all the elements, and thriving. And you become a member of the Second Story community, a flower in the garden. You know that you are not alone, you are connected to something. Your roots become interwoven into the fabric of the garden, the community. I do not have any friends or family locally, and Second Story has become my chosen family, a place where I can be me, all of me, a place where I can make mistakes and learn from them, a place to explore the power and strength found in connection to others that are willing to see me and not put me in a clinical box. They value my contributions to the house and the community, and I'm not only a flower in the Second Story garden, I'm one that is cherished, which is not something I've experienced much in my life, being seen, heard, valued, and truly cherished. Second Story has saved my life many times in the last 6 months by accepting and welcoming me into their home as a peer. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.